In this video, you're gonna learn how to handle any sales objection using my simple 3-step framework. And you wanna make sure you watch this video until the end because we're also gonna go through a live sales role play so you can see this framework in action. What's going on, everybody? It's Patrick here. Before we get started, make sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to see more sales videos like this. And let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing we gotta cover is what exactly is a sales objection. And a sales objection is simply a reason for why somebody doesn't want to purchase your product and service. So for example, you might be in a sales meeting, whether it's over the phone or in person, and you ask them questions, you give a presentation, and at the end of everything, you ask for the sale. And at the end, the prospect might say something like, oh, I need to think about it. Oh, the price is too high. Oh, I gotta talk to my boss about this, right? They give you a lot of different reasons for why they can't actually buy. Now, a prospect, someone you are trying to sell to, they may have an infinite number of reasons for why they can't buy. So it's your job as a seller to uncover the truth behind why they're not buying and remove that blocker and help them make a purchasing decision. Now, where do sales objections really come from? And no matter what it is that you're selling, whether you're in sales, business development, or if you're an entrepreneur, sales objections are going to come from anything that wasn't discussed in the actual sales meeting. So think about this. When you are, let's say, selling something, right? And you are in a sales meeting, you're basically having a conversation and convincing the person why they should purchase your product and service. Now, an objection is gonna come, at the end usually because, maybe something wasn't covered. Maybe you didn't talk about the approval process they have to go through to buy whatever it is you're selling. Or maybe you didn't talk about the budget quite yet, right? So if you didn't cover those things in the sales meeting, eventually they're going to turn up. So ideally you would want to handle objections during the sales meeting, but sometimes you might miss something, or maybe the prospect doesn't tell you all the information you need during that meeting, so it comes up at the end. But the thing you want to pay attention to is that a sales objection is not necessarily a bad thing, right? You might think of it's a bad thing because, oh, someone doesn't want to buy your product and service. However, you want to look at it and reframe the situation as an opportunity to help the customer buy. Let's say, someone's trying to get from point A to point B, right? Like they're walking across the road, but an objection comes in the middle. It's like an obstacle. They're trying to walk through and for some reason, they get blocked. And it's your job to remove this obstacle so they can walk from point A to point B. And if you think about it in that perspective, an objection is not really a bad thing. It's just a reason for why somebody can't buy yet. So instead of pushing someone in to buy, just remove the obstacle and help them make the purchasing decision. Because they already want to go from point A to point B, you're just unblocking them. So now let's go ahead and get into the 3-step framework on how to actually handle the objection. So, typically in sales training, what people have you do is they will, let's say, give you all the common objections, and then you have to memorize a script to handle each one. For example, the price is too high. I already work for my competitor. So traditionally you would have a immediate response to whatever it is, right? And that does work, and you should have responses to the very common objections. But what happens when you come across an objection that, let's say, you have never heard of? How do you handle an objection that you didn't prepare for? And so this 3-step framework you can basically use for any type of objection, whether you have already heard it or it's gonna be a brand new one, and you're gonna be able to use this objection handling technique on the fly for any type of objection. All right, so the 3-step framework you're gonna use is empathize, get to the truth, and reframe the conversation. So empathy is kind of understanding where the person is coming from and really seeing things from their perspective and making the prospect feel heard. This is very important to build trust and rapport. The next step when you're seeking the truth is when someone gives you an objection, you want to dive a little bit deeper into what is the real objection, right? Because the first thing somebody says usually is partially true, and you want to dive a little deeper to understand why someone really cannot buy right now, right? And I'll show you an example of that. And the final step is going to reframe. So you want to reframe the conversation. So instead of, looking at an objection from a traditional standpoint, you want to change that, and you want to see these objections as opportunities to help educate your customer and help them make a purchasing decision. So let's go ahead and get into the role play so you see how this all works.
Patrick, everything looks good so far, but let me think about it.
Okay, John, I hear what you're saying. I'm guessing you want to take your time before making an important decision like this, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, well, hey, since we are already talking over the phone, John, I'm curious, I know you don't want to rush anything here, but I wanted to know exactly what exactly you need to think about before making a decision. Maybe I can help answer any questions you have while we're talking right now.
Yeah, so like I said before, everything looks good, but I can't actually buy this myself. I have to talk it over with my boss, and she's actually the one that signs off on everything.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Hey, if it's easier for you, how about we schedule a call with you and your boss and myself, and we can talk through the details. This way I can be there to help answer any questions your boss may have, instead of you having to do it all by yourself. How does that sound?
Okay, yeah, sure. That would actually make things a lot easier for me.
So in the role play, you can kind of see that John, it was at the end of a meeting and John wanted to buy, but then for some reason he couldn't. And so I had to empathize with him, and I understood like, hey, you don't have to rush anything. But the next step is I need to get to the truth. Why exactly is he not buying? What does he need to think about, right? And so I say, hey, what exactly do you need to think about? You can ask it directly like that. And John says, oh, he needs to talk it over with his boss, because the boss is the one that signs off on it, right? And maybe he didn't tell me that in the beginning of the meeting, but now I know. So knowing this, what I need to do is I need to reframe the conversation and schedule another meeting with him and his boss and myself so I can talk about my solution. And I know that I don't want John to do it by himself, because when it comes to selling, John cannot sell my product better than I can, because I'm the salesperson, right? He can kind of relay the message, but he won't, be as persuasive. So that's why I need to schedule another meeting so I can talk to the person who's really gonna make the decision on that call and persuade them and explain to them why they need to purchase my product or service. And so that's pretty much the framework. Empathize, seek the truth, and then reframe the conversation. So if you enjoyed this video on how to handle any objection, make sure to give it a like, subscribe, turn on notifications, because I'm gonna be dropping new sales videos every single week. And I actually got a free training on how to sell anything to anyone. Make sure to check it out in the link in the description. So with that said, my name is Patrick Dang, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next one.